What's up guys, Alvaro here. Welcome to the Bilingual Stock Market channel again. On this channel we talk about the markets and we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. And in this video, and as I do it Mondays through Thursdays, I want to make a quick stock market update. So I want to break down some technicals going over the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100, and at the end of this video I am going to break down from a technical standpoint as well Skillz, Zoom, video communications, and support.com, whatever that company is, because most people don't know what the heck support.com is, but we have a lot of people taking trades with the stock of that company. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. And today we had a low volume, we had a choppy day for the most part. The only index that ended up going up today was the Russell 2000, which went up 0.34%. The Nasdaq went down 0.04%. You guys know that the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 went on an absolute tear in yesterday's trading session, so both indices were due for some sort of rest today, and they took a rest. The Dow Jones went down today 0.11%. This is the second negative day in a row for the Dow Jones, and the S&P 500 pretty much closed the day flat. It only went down 0.13%. And when it comes to the sectors that trade inside the S&P 500, once again, the best performing sector was real estate, which went up 0.81%. And yet again, the worst performing sector in today's trading session was the energy sector, which went down 0.69%. Apparently, guys, the negative effect of the hurricane that hit Louisiana and New Orleans was not as lucky enough, obviously, was not as negative as many people were thinking. So the energy sector and oil in general terms went down yesterday and today as well. And before going over exactly the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, I want to show you two trades that I closed in a successful way in today's trading session, and one of those trades was taken with Robinhood markets. So I took advantage of the dip that we saw on Robinhood, because yesterday the chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission said on an interview that they are thinking about regulating the payment for order flow, and obviously Robinhood was affected in a negative way by that news. I don't think that the Securities and Exchange Commission is going to ban payments for order flows, but obviously Robinhood, I mean, most of the money that Robinhood makes comes from payment for order flow, and the stock of this company saw a nice retracement. So this morning I purchased 100 shares of Robinhood at $42.32, paying $4,232, and I sold these shares later on today at $44.35, being paid $4,435. So I ended up making over here something like $200. So this was for the most part a base hits, but a bunch of base hits put you in the Hall of Fame. And the other trade that I closed today was with Envite. And in the case of Envite, this was a swing trade that I opened. Let me pull up here the history of the trades that I have taken with Envite. So on August 10, I purchased 100 shares at $27.45, paying $2,744, and I ended up selling out of these 100 shares today at $29.53. I actually wanted to close this trade at 31 or 32 bucks, but the bulls of Envite haven't had the strength to burst above $30, so I ended up closing this trade with a $200 profit. So I ended up making today $400. Nothing crazy, but these two trades were a couple of base hits, and as I just said, base hits put you in the Hall of Fame. And when it comes to the S&P 500, there is not really much to say over here. As I just said, the S&P went down today 0.13%, and it closed today's trading session at 4,522 points. So I am going to zoom in here on the 4-hour chart. And guys, there is nothing new to say over here. You guys know that the tape obviously is very bullish. We are on a clear uptrend. We are trading above the moving averages, and we might start to see some sort of process of consolidation, slightly above 4,500 points in the S&P, and that would be very bullish because as of now we can see the relative strength index of the S&P at 64 points. It is a bit high, nothing crazy, a bit high. So, and as I said in the video that we posted yesterday, if the bulls start to trade sideways for, let's say, 3 or 4 days without breaking the new all-time high at 4,537 points to the upside, and without breaking 4,500 to the downside either. So that is going to be bullish action, no doubt about it, because that implies that the bulls are going to be gathering momentum in order to take on all-time high, eventually without the S&P being in an overbacked condition. So there is nothing really new to say in the case of the S&P 500. And remember that on Friday we have the jobs report of August, and on top of that, tomorrow September is going to be kicking off. And historically speaking, September is a very negative month for the markets in general terms. In the case of the Nasdaq 100, there is nothing new to say because the Nasdaq pretty much broke even today. It went down 0.14%, and it closed today's trading session at 15,582 points. So I am going to zoom in here on the 4-hour chart, and the RSI is still a bit high. It is at 72 points. When we closed yesterday's trading session, the RSI of the Nasdaq 100 was at 76 points. So the RSI, let's say, that dropped a bit. Nothing crazy, and obviously there is nothing wrong with this tape. We are on a clear uptrend. We are trading above the moving averages. So I can see the Nasdaq 100, and as I said in the video that we posted yesterday, pulling back a bit and paying a visit down to 15,400 points, which is going to be the most immediate area of lower support. We are talking about a former all-time high that also acted as overhead resistance for the Nasdaq 100 back on August 25th and also back on August 24th. So in terms of overhead resistance, we are pretty much looking at the new all-time high that was reached in yesterday's trading session at 15,620 points. And we could also see the process, in the case of the Nasdaq 100, the process of consolidation that I just told you. In the case of the S&P 500, we could see the Nasdaq 100 trading sideways for a few days without breaking the new all-time high to the upside, and also without breaking the lower support of 15,400 points to the downside. But other than that, there is absolutely nothing wrong with the Nasdaq 100. Everything looks extremely bullish, and the first stock of this video is going to be Skillz, guys. And in the case of Skillz, the stock of this company went on an absolute tear today. It went up 11.14%, and it closed today's trading session at $11.77. So I am going to zoom in here on the 4-hour chart and take a look at the relative strength index, guys. This is something that is worth pointing out. It is very elevated. It is at 72 points. So I am not going to touch Skillz at these levels at $11.77. However, guys, if Skillz happens to drop a bit, which should be the case because, as I just said, the RSI is very elevated on the 4-hour chart. And if the stock of this company happens to pay a visit to the $11.48, we are talking about a former area of overhead resistance that acted as such on 1, 2, and 3 occasions throughout August. So at that price, and if I happen to confirm from a technical standpoint that the bulls of Skillz found a good support, I am going to be tempted in order to pick up 100 or 200 shares of Skillz. If I happen to start a position at $11.50 or $11.48, then my price target is going to be the next important area of overhead resistance for Skillz at $13.90. $13.90 is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for the stock of this company back in late July, and it also did it back in mid-July. So if I were able to take this trade the way that I am describing it, picking up some shares of Skillz at $11.40 and selling out of those shares at $13.90 or $14, I could be locking in a profit of almost 17%. That would be a phenomenal trade. So watch out for Skillz in the upcoming days, dropping a bit, paying a visit to $11.40, starting to consolidate slightly above that area and then bouncing back up. And the second stock of this video is a stock that we actually talked about in yesterday's video, Zoom Communications Incorporated. So Zoom fell off a cliff today. This was unbelievable, guys. So Zoom ended up going down $58 and it went down today in percentage terms 16.69%. Jeez. Closing today's trading session at $289.50. So when I went over the earnings report of Zoom in yesterday's video, guys, I was telling you that Zoom was likely to find support at $314. I was absolutely mistaken, guys, because take a look at how Zoom fell off a cliff. So let me zoom in here on the 4-hour chart, and I actually took advantage of this dip and I purchased, let me show you, I think that I purchased today 30 shares of Zoom. So let me see, yeah, I purchased 30 shares at $292.73, and as of now I have an unrealized loss over here of $104. So what's my plan when it comes to the position that I just showed you? If Zoom can reverse this terrible drop that we can see here on the 4-hour chart, then my price target in order to close this trade is going to be the next important area of overhead resistance for the bulls of Zoom near $303. $303 is a previous area of lower support that acted as such back in mid-May, and it also acted as lower support back in late March. So if I were able to close this trade the way that I am describing it, because I own 30 shares that were purchased at $291. So if I can sell out of those shares at $303 each, I am going to be able to make a profit of almost 4%. That would be a very nice profit. However, guys, if Zoom happens to broke to the downside the area of lower support that it found today near $287, then the next foreseeable area of lower support for the stock of this company is going to be at $276. $276 is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for Zoom back on June 4th, and it also did it back on May 13th. So at $275, I am going to be picking up probably 20 or 30 more shares of Zoom. So if I am able to average down my position, picking up, let's say, 30 more shares of Zoom, so maybe I can complete a 60 share position, I am going to have an average cost of $282. And if I can sell out of my shares at the price target that I just told you about, near $303, I am going to be able to make a 7% profit. And take a look at the RSI, guys, on the 4-hour chart. It is at 21 points, so obviously Zoom is very oversold. So can the bears of Zoom take the stock of this company down to $276 with the RSI being already so low? I don't think so, guys. I think that the stock of this company is due for a relief rally that could potentially take it back to $303 per share. So let's see what happens in the case of Zoom. And the last stock of this video is going to be ticker symbol SPRT. Support.com would be, yeah, so support.com. In the case of this new meme stock, it went down today 13.82% and it closed today's trading session at $31.36. And the short interest of the stock of this company is very high, guys. It is at 40%. Remember that any short interest above 10% is already considered a high short interest. Above 20% is considered a very high short interest. And in the case of the stock of this company, we find a short interest that is above 40%. So obviously, the stock of this company is a strong candidate in order to be involved in a short squeeze. Guys, I forgot to tell you, and I found out when I was recording my video in Spanish, that in the case of support.com, we have an unusual options activity. So listen up. Someone purchased, or someone invested rather, $7.5 million in call options that are expiring on September 17 with a strike price of $39. This is absolutely insane. So someone out there is putting a lot of money on the table, and someone out there is taking a chance on support.com to be above or at $39 by September 17. So keep that in mind if you are about to take a trade with support.com. I was doing some sort of research work in regard to this company, and this is pretty much a company that provides cloud-based technology platforms to companies. That's all that I could find out. But guys, at the end of the day, this is a meme stock, so who cares about what this company is doing as of now? We are just trying to take a trade based on momentum. So support.com closed today's trading session at $31.31. And if tomorrow, guys, and mind you, this would be a very risky trade. If I happen to take a trade with support.com, I am going to be placing a very tight stop loss. But if tomorrow the stock of this company happens to consolidate slightly above $30, and let me pull up here, I think that the 1 hour chart is going to be, yeah, it's going to be better to figure out what we can do with the stock of this company. So $30 or $30.10 acted as lower support in today's trading session and also in yesterday's trading session. So if tomorrow I happen to see the stock of this company starting to consolidate slightly above $30, let's say $30.50 or $30.70, I am going to be picking up probably 100 shares. This is going to be a small position because this is a very risky trade, and if I happen to start a position on support.com, then my price target is going to be the area in which the bulls of this stock failed in yesterday's trading session and also in today's trading session near $41. If I were able to take this trade the way that I am describing it, picking up some shares at, let's say, $30.50, $30.70, slightly above $30, and if I can sell out of those shares at $40 or $41, I could be making a profit of almost 22%. And if I start a trade with the stock of this company, then my stop loss is going to be placed as soon as I buy my shares at $28.70 or $29, because I don't want to be holding the bag with support.com. And with the stock of this company, I am going to wrap up the video. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for hanging out with me once again. Remember and keep in mind, guys, that here on the Bilingual Stock Market channel, we are posting stock market update videos Mondays through Thursdays, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. So if you want to get all of the notifications of all of our videos in a timely manner, you have to be subscribed to the channel, and you also need to activate the notification bell right up there. Follow us on Instagram as well, guys, at Bilingual Stock Market. And remember that this is the Bilingual Stock Market channel, the YouTube channel in which we talk about the markets, but we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. But most importantly, this is the YouTube channel in which we know that the wonderful world of Wall Street is not for geniuses, it is for entrepreneurs just like you guys and myself. My name is Alvaro, and I will see you guys tomorrow once again 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. Peace out.